You're seeing in the West is they're saying we don't want all these Chinese apps because they're spying on Westerners. Is it the same here where China's like we don't want all these Western apps because they're spying on Chinese? All right, ladies and gents, welcome to China. Yes, I am honestly in China here. I'm in Chongqing. You've probably been wondering where I've been for the last week. People probably thought I'd been abducted. No videos, I know. It's because we'll get into this shortly. I had no idea that you basically just get completely cut off from the world when you come to China. You're probably laughing saying, obviously Neil, obviously you were going to get cut off. I didn't know that all of my communication apps wouldn't work here, but we figured it out eventually with a VPN. There we go. But today we're going to talk about, we're actually walking through, so in the city of Chongqing here, and we're walking through a park that even some local people and my friends here didn't know had been built. They said, how is this park, where did this park come from? I'll show you it in a second. They didn't even know it had been built because they've just built this park so quickly, apparently. And that's the pattern that I've been seeing the last 2 days. This is my final day here. I've come for 3 days. My wife as well. She's just at the hotel. That was an eye-opener as well. We'll go through a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of things here. And I want to just share my experience. Okay, not a sponsored video. I haven't been paid by the CCP or whatever else people are gonna come up with in the comments. I love the comments. There's no bias, there's no affiliation, there's no financial incentive. I'm just gonna give you my own honest opinion today of what I've seen based on this one city of, I think it's something like 35, 36 million people. So you would think it'd be absolute chaos, but it's actually quite well organized, but believe it or not. We're going to talk about a lot of things all the way through to this social credit score and everything else that I've been desperately asking so many people about their credit score. And
what is that?
social credit score. It's like a score. So firstly then, let's talk about the people. I always think whenever I go to a place, the people is the best gauge for me of whether I actually like a place. So we'll talk about the people first, because I've got to admit, I was quite surprised. I have been quite surprised, especially it's a big city. Usually when you go to big cities, people in general are not as friendly as you might expect in small rural places, right? And I was always given the impression, especially by Western media, that Chinese people are very cold, very rude, obnoxious, and all this other, stuff. Actually, I've just got to say that has not been my experience so far. Okay. Did we get everything? Is that everyone? Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. And no one's planned this. They haven't put plants there for me to go and talk to certain people. I've honestly just been going out on my own, talking to random people, and they've all been very, very friendly, very nice. I've not had anyone that's been rude to me. Wow, they've got outdoor escalators here. I've got to show you this in a second. I've not seen these before. In a park, you've got escalators. That's a new one for me. But no, the people have been very friendly, coming up, speaking English or practicing their English on me. All been very, very friendly, taking pictures and all sorts of other things. So honestly, that has changed my perception. That's the first thing I would say about the people. They have not been as I expected at all. So I'd say that's point. I'll give you the positives and I'll give you some negatives as well, because I'm really glad I've come on this trip. It's taught me a lot more about China in general, the culture, how they do business, the politics here and how that works. I've really changed a lot of my views actually. But at the same time, I do wonder if I've been getting special treatment because I am a Westerner. That is something I'm not sure. I'll have to ask a few more people about that. But for example, one thing that made me laugh was that when I went to the swimming pool at the hotel, for example, I went in there and it was empty. There was no one there. And then within 2 minutes, this guy runs in who's a lifeguard, and he gets up on his ladder and he's sitting there and he's watching me. And then another guy runs in and he's walking on the side as I'm swimming down the pool. He's walking at the side of me. And I thought, why is this? Are they watching me? Well, they're obviously not listening to me to see what I'm saying because I'm the only one in here. What's going on? And then someone explained, well, they can't have someone drown in their hotel or because that's their job, etc. So that was slightly different. So there does seem to be a lot of employees per person. That's one thing I've noticed, but that's one observation as well. The other thing this city is quite well known for is technology. So it's supposed to be the most advanced, technologically advanced city in the world. It is very advanced, I'll say that. I haven't really gotten into all of the tech here, but I met a guy, that's how I actually ended up here, Alex. I'll introduce you to him shortly. Some of the stuff is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Give you an example. They've just built this vehicle that can fit your own personal taxi drone. Just drive out to wherever you want, and then you open up the back, and then it unloads your drone. And you get into this drone, you fly around in this drone. So if you want to go to the mountains or so, it's mind-blowing, some of the stuff that they are doing here. It is completely outside of my reality of what I even knew was going on. Oh, that's typical. The sun has just come out. I was waiting for the sun to break the fog all morning, and now it's just come out. So that's not pollution, by the way, which I thought it was before. It's actually just a fog here. Okay, we've got something random going on here. This is very Chinese. You always see just random things. There's a guy. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he's streaming or something and singing down there. But you see a lot of that when you're walking around. You got people, it's quite interesting actually. You have people selling things on their tiny little market stall with all these phones set up, and they're just taking payments over the app. I'll put a clip in here and I'll show you how it works. You know, I went into a store and I felt obligated to buy a pair of trainers. Not that I wanted them, but you know, I just wanted to see how this payment thing worked. All right, I've just done my first shopping trip here then. That was quite interesting. I really like this area. I'm not sure why. It just feels very, very Chinese, very traditional. There's just so much going on everywhere. I like it.
Well, we're at the Chow Tianmen market for the big first purchase. How much money are we spending?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Let's have a look at these.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, those are beautiful.
I mean, to be honest, I feel obliged to buy them. These ladies have been so kind. I was just curious to how you make a payment, but now I'm so obliged because so many of them have come around to help.
Oh, there's
100. Yeah. All right. Okay, I have no idea how much that is. 100. Okay. And then what do I do, Alex?
Press the okay, and now the password will come up.
All right.
And it's like this.
Okay.
We'll scan to you.
Yeah. Go on, put your password in. Okay, so the password is in.
And there's the purchase.
Okay, so I've paid 100 yuan.
Yeah, and you're done.
And now let's find out if this works. Oh, this is. I mean, this is actually an empty market. It's completely empty, but we seem to have attracted a bit of a crowd here. Yeah. All right, is that done? Is the payment done?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay? You get it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Guys, I wanted to just bring in Alex. He's also a YouTuber. Actually, do you know what? You should probably say how I ended up here. Let's just start with that.
Wow, that's a loaded question. I have a home in Bangkok, and lo and behold, walking into Bangkok, going into a hotel bar, thinking, I'm going to have a chilled evening. I run into this guy in the lobby, and I said, "You're Neil!" Just like that.
Yeah.
And that's how we met.
Yeah. And then the rest was Alex invited me here. Said he lived in China, And I said, I have never heard of anyone living in China before. So that was and he invited me, and I don't think he understands. I'm the sort of person that if I say, yeah, okay, I'll come, I literally just go on a plane to look at it, because I never really had the opportunity before, you know. I don't really know much about China. I heard it's all locked down and you need a chaperone or whatever. So
Minders.
yeah, minders. So when you told me this stuff, I thought, well, let's give it a go, because I thought my subscribers would be really interested in it.
Sure.
I mean, some of them are not going to like it because, you know, China and whatever, but I think a lot of them will be really interested to know my view on it and also your view on it. But there's one question I wanted to ask you about, and I'll put Alex's details below the video here so you can look at his channel. But actually, it's two things. Number one, that truck thing I just shared about before you got here. I just shared about that truck thing with the flying drone. What is that? Can you just tell us what that is? Because I still can't get my head around that. What is that?
Well, that's actually built for people like you
Okay.
that have large properties. But no, it's China's innovation. They're moving to low altitude flying. You're going to start to hear that now.
Okay.
Low altitude flying. Yes, the Jetsons are coming to the world.
Really?
Now they're going to be here. Now that is it's called Xpeng. They're a manufacturer of cars, automobiles. But now they have something that looks like a cyber truck with a drone in the back.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Bright.
it's bright, yeah.
It's bright.
But it's battery powered, also new energy vehicle. Plus, it also takes petrol, so we call that.
Wait, so that flying taxi, whatever you want, that's battery powered.
Battery powered, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Now the
What
height
is that?
restriction on it is 300 meters high in the air.
Yeah.
But most people are using for now that, let's say, people that just want to go for a drive, park, fly around parks. There's vineyards, people that have vineyards, or property developers that
Yeah.
need to fly over their buildings to see how they are. That's where it's starting.
I
But
just can't believe.
yeah,
I can't. I mean, the most crazy thing I saw was loads of people at I think it's London Euston train station, and there was this Emirates or Dubai. It said the taxi of the future, and it was a flying thing. People were just. I was listening to the people, and people were saying, "Nah, that will never work," or "It's dangerous," or "I would never get in that." What? Oh no, that's 20 years out, and all these comments. But from what I've seen here, that's not 20 years out. That's
oh, it's here now. It's here.
It's here. I think people are going to be shocked by this. I'm going to use some of that B-roll.
Please do, yeah.
Yeah, and just show people the, show them this thing,
Yeah.
because I still can't get my head around some of the tech here and what's being built. I wanted to ask you as
Sure.
well. One more question, and then I'll let you get back to
Sure, no
what
problem.
you. I know you got to be somewhere, but it's the app. Okay, the one WeChat. So can you explain a little bit about that? Because I know that without it, I can't basically do anything. I mean, you've been paying for my stuff because I can't pay for anything. It seems to be that this is an enclosed system. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad. Can you just share a little bit of how this all works? Because I still don't really understand it all.
Well, we're chatting on your channel, and I think your viewers are going to be interested that, Chinese banking system,
Yeah.
it's not like another government can come over here and start manipulating the banking system here. This banking system is 1.5 billion people. It's watching the world, the behavior, other countries, how they sanction, whatever. So
Yeah,
if we're
good
going to
point.
talk about WeChat, it's one of the most important components in people's lives here, because it's not just an application like WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It has elements like WhatsApp, but then built into that app, it's a one-all app. It's a heart and health and hospital app, where your reports from the doctor will come there if you need
Really?
to do
Into
that. Into the app. If you need to make a doctor's appointment, if you need to pay for your utilities at home, if you need to send money to a friend, if you
Yeah.
need to order something off of e-commerce,
Yeah.
It's everywhere. If you want to order a taxi, it's all under one app, and it's called mini apps. So it's within this environment. So it's a one-stop shop. It's on everybody's phone. Now, for foreigners, the government is working on opening that up.
Okay.
And allowing it. It's tricky.
I'll be honest, that was one of the things that I've struggled with. And I think would put a lot of people off coming for, tourism. Let's say someone wants to come for the week, let's say. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be people's first choice. Where shall I go? Shall I go to Florida for a week, or shall I go to Chongqing, China, or something? Right? But there will be people that want a little bit of a different experience. They might want to try something off the beaten path, as it were. But I think there's a challenge there, because I have really struggled. I don't feel comfortable not having my communications.
Right.
I can't message back home without the VPNs and whatever. I can't pay for things. I don't know how some of this stuff works. English isn't really spoken. I think there's still some challenges here that they're going to have to overcome if they want to attract any kind of tourism. That's probably why I was one of the only Westerners. Well, me and my wife were the only Westerners that got off that flight. Everybody, and you don't see that in other countries. You see all sorts of different people in every different country. But no, that here we were the only two Westerners that got off the plane.
Well, I was one of the first YouTubers to cover Chongqing.
Okay.
And if you date back, you'll see videos back in 2019. I was one of the first guys here.
What was it like then?
Different and forever changing.
Yeah.
But this is China. China's not a country that's in a hurry to make massive changes. It takes steps, and it takes organizations. That's why you will see now that you can come for 10 days pretty much without a visa.
Yeah.
Go back a year ago, you used to have to go, or 2 years or 3 years ago, you'd have to go to an embassy to get it.
Okay.
Then the Chinese open up what they would call visa application centers.
Right.
Then now they go in steps. Remember, Neil, this is a country of 1.5 billion people, okay? So they're not just going to say, okay, let's go. They're preparing. A city like here, Chongqing, has built a 4th runway, has built a T3B terminal, getting it ready to expand from 30 million guests per year to 80 million. And that's coming in 2025. So we won't have this conversation, I would say, in 2 or 3 years. It will be to the point where foreigners will either pre-install eSIMs before they come. They'll be able to pre-install the applications. Yes, you can still spend money here, but cash-wise.
Yeah.
But this system...
I've seen one person use cash, by the way.
This system has come very advanced, and China knows what you're saying, and they appreciate what you're saying, and they're taking that in. And we will continue to see that coming. Now, I can let you know from some of the friends that I used to have, a couple of years ago, even getting WeChat for them was hard. Once you get that app to do what you need it to do, this entire country is wide open, and it really changes the way you might even look at the way systems are at in your country.
Do you think they will ever open it up for things like, this will be on YouTube here. Do you think they will ever open it up for, because they've obviously got an equivalent of every, WhatsApp, Telegram, YouTube, X, etc. They've got a Chinese equivalent. Do you think they'll ever open it back up to those platforms, or do you think it's just not going to... It's like what you're seeing in the West is they're saying, we don't want all these Chinese apps because they're spying on Westerners. Is it the same here where China's like, we don't want all these Western apps because they're spying on Chinese? Is it like, or am I way off with that thought?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because people aren't believing that the Chinese apps are doing that. There's a massive revolt from TikTok, they're calling the Red Book refugees,
I heard about
where
this.
they're just saying, okay, government, we don't believe what you're telling us about China.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go into that where you're saying, will there be an open door on some of these platforms? I have to tell you, some of my content that I put out on YouTube, and some of it I put out on the Chinese platforms, my YouTube is more restricted, more demonetized,
I'm not surprised.
and more blocked
I'm not surprised.
than what I say on my China platforms here.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised by that at all, because my videos get demonetized. My videos get restricted. You know, it's like it's a regular thing. We're used to it. I don't want to be used to it. I don't think it's a good thing. It's a good point actually you raise. And I remember earlier I raised a couple of points with you about, well, people's bank accounts can just be closed, and we haven't got this. You know, you haven't got the same freedoms that we've. And you said, "Hey, I'm from Canada."
Yeah.
And what did you say about the truckers?
Well, yeah, I mean, even my mom's neighbor donated to the truckers.
Yeah.
And within 72 hours, her bank account was seized. And she's saying, wait a minute, I even made the donation on a U.S. website. How was my Canadian bank account seized within 72 hours?
Yeah.
That should resonate in people and really think, wait a minute, who's really in control here?
Yeah.
Who's really doing that? So, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
So responsibility.
Okay.
Neil, it's two totally different cultures here. This is a culture right now that is in a race for the future. They are striving their best. They're working hard. They understand there's obstacles. They understand what the Western media is saying about them.
Yeah.
They're taking their hits. It's a country that doesn't know how to defend itself yet.
Yeah.
So what do? They stay insular. They get down to technology. They start bringing out amazing things. I mean, companies like you probably never heard before. You probably never heard of TikTok 5 years ago. You probably haven't heard of DJI. You might now if you're a drone flyer.
Yeah.
You probably didn't know that iPhones are made in this country, or a lot of the computer systems. And you probably didn't even know that you could gamble in China's Macau. So, I mean, it's such a misunderstood country. And that's on my channel. You'll find that, I have a lot more insight than the average YouTuber that's just kind of floating around here.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a good thing then, because I've said to you, I'm not here to promote China in any way.
I totally agree.
I'm here to get come with my own sort of independent thinking mind and see what have I been lied to, what propaganda have I been given by my own, media, what propaganda is put out here, if any, right? I'm trying to get to the root cause so that people can figure out for themselves. So there'll be some people watching that will say, oh, shill or whatever. I'm not watching any of this or whatever instantly. And that's fine. I have no issue. I have no issue with that. Those people will just watch the next video and they're all good again, right? But then there'll be other people that, like me, think, okay, I want to learn more. I want my mind open to some of the other things that are going on here. So what I'll do, I'll put your channel below, and then they can find out a little bit more about your side of things. And I think that'll be a good balance. But I'm going to get back into my walk and talk now and carry it on. So thanks so much, Alex.
Good
and
to see you, Neil. Thank you. Thank you for giving us a chance.
All right.
Appreciate
See you later. See ya. Got some ladies behind here doing I'm not sure what they're up to. But yeah, the prices here are incredibly cheap. I was not expecting these prices at all. But I mean, I guess I should have done, because this is where everything is made, of course. But yeah, even a lot cheaper than even Bangkok, for example. The other metric I always look at when I visit any city or any country is crime, as you know. It's one of my big ones. And I can honestly, hand on heart, say that I haven't seen any crime, none at all. I haven't seen any homeless people, haven't seen any drug addicts, haven't seen any prostitution. I haven't seen any litter. Even let's look at this park. These bags behind are not litter. They're being used for construction. I mean, everything's very efficient. I don't know what to say. I'm surprised. I didn't expect this at all. But now I do want to talk about some of the negative things for any of you who are thinking of coming to China. You've got to be prepared. That's why I think people call it Planet China, because you are cut off from the outside world unless you get the right VPN, let's just say that. But you are cut off. So none of my apps worked. So once I got on the Wi-Fi at the hotel, none of my apps worked at all. I think about 2 of them worked. None of the messaging, none of the social media. My YouTube didn't work, my X, nothing at all worked, because the Chinese have got their own versions of these things. So that's just something you've got to bear in mind if you're ever going to come here. Also at the border, it was quite intimidating. The border agents didn't smile at all. They were extremely serious. They took us off to a separate area. We were the only foreigners on the flight. I don't think, I mean, maybe they get foreigners here, but I've only seen one person that looks like me. And that was it. Apart from our friends here, I haven't seen anyone that's foreign, basically. It all seems to be Chinese people only. So we were quite fortunate that we've got friends here now, because they were able to book all of our taxis for us and book everything that we did. If we went to a restaurant, they would pay with their WeChat Pay or their QR or whatever it is they're using. So we're quite fortunate. If we didn't have that, I'll give you an example. On the first night, got in a little bit hungry, went out to several places to eat, and none of them would accept my credit card, which was just a Visa credit card. None of them would accept it. It didn't work at all for any of these restaurants. Now, the other big one you're probably wondering about is the tracking, which is obviously the main thing that we hear all the time. And this is what I've spent a lot of time just looking at and really thinking about while I'm here. Am I being tracked 24/7? Well, one day I haven't got connectivity, so my phone doesn't work anyway. So I didn't take it out with me. My friend booked me a taxi, took me to somewhere. We went around for an hour, then came back. So was I tracked? No, there was no way to track me. I didn't see any cameras there at that time either. They do have these flashing lights on all the roads though. So there's some sort of a tracking system of all the vehicles. That is a fact. I've seen it with my own eyes. There's cameras all over the road, so they're tracking vehicles wherever they go. But in terms of tracking people, I mean, I don't know. Maybe through the phones or something like that. But that is really all I've seen. And this whole social credit score that even I've talked about before, I've asked so many people I've asked them about this, and I've asked them, have they got a score? Do they know what their credit score is? I've asked so many people and no one knows anything about it. Do you have a social credit score system here?
What is that?
Social credit score? It's like a score?
I've never heard of it.
Okay.
In China?
You're like the
What,
fifth
in the
person.
US, in the movie?
I'm trying to find out about this social credit score. So I'm really confused by this point. I'm going to have to spend some time researching this when I've got proper connectivity outside of China again. But from what I can see, I don't know where that came from. Maybe there's one city somewhere that they're trialing it or it exists, but definitely here there's no cameras on the crossings and, you know, deducting you points or social credit score or anything like that. I haven't seen it. So I don't know. I can't really comment much more on it. So the only other thing I want to really say is that I came here thinking that a lot of the Chinese people would have deep resentment towards me and my wife. I'm obviously British. My wife is American. But well, she holds dual citizenship now. But that hasn't been the case. I was really surprised by how friendly everyone's been, wanted to come over and say hi, wanted to take pictures together. So if there is this deep resentment that you hear about in the media all the time, the Western media, I haven't seen it. I don't know where it is. Maybe there's some places that they have it, but yeah, that's not been my experience. Again, I haven't been paid for any of this. I haven't been paid for this video. So I've just done this walk around today, completely unbiased. This is just based on my experience, and I wanted to share it with you because that's what I do on the channel. I share with you my own experiences and thoughts based on the interactions that I have and the different places that I go. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching today. Take care, God bless. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe. Bye for now.